Got a few requests from the last Shwantz story to talk about the first time I've been drunk or high. Well, the first time I ever drank was when I was like 12 years old, and it was nothing all that interesting, to be honest. I borrowed some of my dad's Captain Morgan and mixed it in with some soda to have a good time. Additionally, the first and one of the only times I've ever smoked pot, I didn't really enjoy it all that much. I do remember reiterating like 30 times though, I can't stop smiling, and my cheekbones hurt the next day, presumably because I had a shit-eating grin on the whole time. I had an oatmeal raisin cookie that tasted like a porterhouse, but I really dislike the whole smoking thing. I just don't like that burn in the back of your throat kind of feeling. I'd rather just get drunk, like this one time I'll tell you guys about. When it came to going off to college, binge drinking on the weekends wasn't a new concept for me. I'd been doing it since I was in the 9th grade, basically. Apparently lots of other kids, though, were sheltered as shit, and they did not know how to handle themselves or what their limitations were. It was like fucking amateur hour out there, which consequently is what I call New Year's Eve at the bar every year. Don't go out for New Year's Eve. Go to a party instead. This way you can leave when the once-a-year drinkers get fucking sloppy. They're worse than the people that only go to church on Easter and Christmas. Anyways, during my senior year of college, an acquaintance of mine was running a beer pong league. That's right, a league full of tandems of two that would get together every week at a bar and play beer pong tournaments for money. Since I'm a self-proclaimed competitive drinker, this idea intrigued me, so I signed up with a friend of mine. There was a website, a schedule, and everything. This was fucking legit-ass shit. The very first week of the season is when this particular episode takes place. Now, my partner had something she had to do the night of the tournament, but she didn't want to miss the first week, so she decided to be the designated driver so that she could leave whenever the fuck she wanted to in case we got bounced out early. This meant I was stuck drinking beer for both of us instead of having to split it amongst each player. In this league, you're required to pay $20 per person up front to cover the cost of the prize money plus the beer. Each match required you to have one pitcher of beer per 10 cups. There were 16 teams in the tournament, so if we wanted to win, we'd have to play 4 matches total. So if you do the math, in order for us to win this thing, 4 pitchers of beer have to be consumed. We get through the first team relatively easy, and there were no provisions for what to do with the full cups once you won or lost the game, so I decided to keep the leftover beer and drink it like a champ would. Normally, people would, as a quote-unquote punishment, give the team that lost all of the leftover beer, but fuck that shit. I paid for this goddamn beer. I want to drink it, motherfucker. Second game comes up and we win again, and again, I'm a scumbag and drink the leftover beer. So for those of you keeping score at home, that's 2 pitchers of beer I've had so far, probably in the span of an hour or so, which, if you do the math properly, is about 10 bottles of beer. Now, before a third game in the semifinals, there was a commotion coming from the other end of the bar. There was a team that had won both of their games in such fast fashion that their opponents only made 4 cups total between 2 games. These guys were so good that they kept hitting what's called a bring back. If both shooters hit their shot on the same turn, then they get the balls back and can shoot again. These guys were skilled marksmen. They were hitting cups like an alcoholic Reggie Miller. Thankfully, they weren't our opponents for game number 3, but if we beat this next team, we'd have to face them in the finals. A declaration then sprang up from one of these league officials who was friends with one of the people on the team. If any team can beat these guys, not just during the tournament, I'll give away a free pitcher of beer. What would typically happen is that teams are eliminated from the tournament or waiting around to play, since there are only 4 tables at a time, would practice, and after the tournament, people would stick around to play even more, but of course they'd have to buy their own beer at that point. Now, back to our third game. This one's a nail-biter. We sink the final cup, but on the rebuttal from the other team, they force overtime. Shit. This means more beers to drink. We filled 3 cups back up per side, and I hit all 3 of my shots in succession, winning the game for our team and bringing us into the finals where we'd have some guaranteed money. At the other end, you already know what happens. The Juggernaut team just stomps all over the competition. It's looking like there's no way we could beat this other team, especially considering I've had 3+ pitchers of beer at this point. I'm starting to stumble slightly, but for some reason, my shot is on point like a number 2 pencil. Isn't it funny how that happens? As you get more and more drunk, your beer pong skills go through the fucking roof. Up to a certain point, though, and if you get too fucking drunk, then you just fall off that cliff and you couldn't even hit water if you fell out of a boat. In the downtime between the finals match, I of course start practicing something I never usually do. Bounce the ball. In these particular rules, if you bounce and make it in, it's 2 cups to take away instead of 1, but opponents can swap the ball as it's on its way over towards their fortress. So this is it. It's the final countdown. No, I'm just kidding. You could cut the tension in the room with a knife or a wet fart. The finals game starts off with them hitting 2 bringbacks in a row. We're down 4 fucking cups at this point before we even get the chance to shoot. I whisper, which was probably yelling because I'm hammered as fuck at this point, to shoot for one of the back cups to my partner. I've got a plan. As she is shooting, I bounce my ball towards the front cups and both shots go in. The crowd surrounding the table goes fucking crazy. We've just sank 3 of their cups and are getting the balls back. She shoots and hits. Ladies first, of course. No more bounces for me. I don't want to get cocky at this point. That was like the first and only time I've ever bounced and actually made it in. I toss mine in as well, though, and we're getting the balls back a second time. It's too bad, though, at this point, they have 5 cups, and it's a really shitty rack, which means we can't shape the cups together nicely to make it easy on ourselves. She misses, but I hit again, bringing the score to 6-4 for the good guys. At this point, there's a lot of blurriness because of all of the beers I had, but eventually, we're down to our last cup, and we've got them whittled down to 2 cups. They let out the first shot that misses to the left of the cup, bouncing off the table. The next guy shoots, and as the ball lets go from his fucking hand, this shot looks perfect. It's got the distance, it's got the arc. I just feel it. He's gonna hit this shot. As it comes down, it clanks off the back part of the cup and straight up into the air. Just like a fucking Neanderthal, I swap the shit away to prevent it from coming back down into our cup, and again, people at the bar are going fucking nuts. Now it's our turn. We're still down by 1 cup, but we end up hitting back-to-back shots on the second to last and last cup to win the game and the whole tournament. Everybody is shocked that we upset the big favorites in the finals game, and of course, we got that complimentary pitcher for it. I shared this free pitcher with my other friends who were eliminated a long time ago because, quite frankly, I'm like 20 plus beers deep at this point after drinking for the entire team. I can barely walk. My partner is on a high from winning, but she tells me we've got to get the fuck home. I'm way too drunk and she's got shit to do. On the car ride home, I'm still in awe of the $200 are splitting from winning this thing. All of a sudden, the feeling comes over me. I've really got to piss. Since I'm not coherent at this point, I pull my pants down, roll down the window, and start to pee out the fucking window of her car as we're driving down the goddamn highway. She's screaming at me to put that fucking thing away and pulls the car over. After being mad about getting some nice pinstriping on the side of her car, she just bursts out laughing and is just like, Jesus Christ, I gotta get you home, you're way too drunk. I tell her to drop me off at the campus deli because this place is open till 3 a.m. and is perfect for people just like me. Go in, order myself chicken cutlet hero with American cheese and, you know, all the veggies, lettuce, tomato, peppers, all that fun shit. I pay for the sandwich, but then I start to feel really sick from the motion of the car. Everything is spinning. I head outside the front entrance and puke into the bushes that line the front door of the deli. People are pointing and laughing. Some hoity-toity bitches are like screaming and just going, ew, gross, and all that other shit. I call up that girl again and tell her to pick me back up at the fucking deli. I grab the sandwich from the front counter. They tell me not to come back because I've desecrated their store, and I go home. I eventually pass out, hero in hand, waking up the next day spooning a soggy sandwich with $100 in my pocket. I hope you guys enjoyed this Shwantz story. If you've got a topic for a story for next time, let me know down in the comments section. I've been the Shwantz 27, making like a tree and getting the fuck out of here. Until next time.